what's up you guys, it's the Curious Owl here and welcome back to Top 5 Wednesday. This week we are focusing on all things paranormal. So this week is basically picking your favorite books or series that deal with paranormal creatures. It can be vampires, werewolves, fae, zombies, pretty much anything that is considered paranormal. However, I would encourage to try to stay away from anything magical, including witches or wizards, as they are not necessarily paranormal, but more kind of on the magical side, as they deal with magic and they have an innate power to produce magic, whereas many of the paranormal creatures don't necessarily have an innate power, but they have essentially some kind of paranormal activity in their bodies. For instance, since zombies are dead, but they're still animated. And number 5 is a vampire series, and it is the Thirst series by Christopher Pike. I read this, I think, about early high school through about junior year, and it was one of my favorite vampire series of all time. The series focuses on a vampire named Sita, who is 5,000 years old, and she is essentially the first created vampire from a demon. And the story of the entire series basically follows her adventures, and each book is different in terms of what she is doing. One book she's kind of finding a lost love, another book she's connecting with a descendant of hers that she wants to turn into a vampire. Number 4, if you guys haven't already guessed at this point that it would be on this list, is the Morganville Vampire series by Rachel Caine. I mean, I talk about this in almost every single Top 5 Wednesday, almost at any chance I get, so how could I not include it in this specific prompt? This is the best vampire, romance, action, suspense, thrill, mystery series you could really get, because just like with Thirst, every novel is different when it comes to what exactly happens, but the overall plot follows these 4 friends who are humans, and basically their adventures in trying to live in this vampire-ruled city. Number 3 is the Night World series by L.J. Smith. Now, the reason I picked this one is because it doesn't only include vampires, but it includes so many different types of paranormal creatures, from zombies to even witches and wizards and all kinds of different kinds of otherworldly creatures that are a part of essentially the Night World. And each individual story that comes from the Night World is so different in terms of the types of characters that are involved, but a lot of the same things kind of happen, which I didn't really care for in the series. Like, everyone basically found a soulmate and they had to spend the rest of their life with them. I didn't care about that so much, but I did enjoy the fact that each story focused on a different kind of paranormal creature, as opposed to just it being all about vampires or all about witches or all about werewolves. Number 2 is one of the ones I think is kind of stretching it, and it's the Immortals series by Alison Noel. This series deals with a girl who is basically a psychic. After she gets in a car accident, she develops psychic abilities where she is able to see auras of people and hear their thoughts, and when she touches them, she is able to experience kinds of scenarios that they've been in, things that they have actually experienced. And the reason I think it's stretching it a little bit is it kind of delves into some mystical, magical elements throughout the story, but it is still so paranormal that all of these things happen to this main character after one specific event that I thought it was more paranormal in a sense, because she wasn't exactly born with these abilities. They didn't actually manifest until after she was in her car accident, and so I thought that that kind of constituted it to be a more kind of a paranormal event as opposed to it being a magical event. And at number 1, again, this is kind of stretching it, but I think that this is still a really good series to recognize, is the City of Bones series by Cassandra Clare. The reason I think this is paranormal is because, again, like a Night World, it doesn't deal with just vampires involved in the kind of magical paranormal system that it has. There's all kinds of different creatures that the team has to basically go against and has to kind of fight against. There's this idea of the runes and the spells and everything that they do, which kind of delves into the magical sense of it. It's kind of like the Immortal series, though, where Clary doesn't exactly have this ability born out of her, or she doesn't realize it. It kind of manifests after this specific event that she partakes in. So it's kind of more paranormal in the sense that it doesn't happen right at her birth or kind of right away, but it kind of has to happen through some kind of particular event that makes it seem more paranormal than an innate magical kind of thing. So there you guys go. Those are my top 5 books and series that deal with paranormal creatures and paranormal activities. So if you guys did enjoy this list, please do give it a big thumbs up. Also, leave a comment down below what books you think would best fit this prompt. And as always, go ahead and click that button down below and subscribe to become an owlet in our flock. And I will see all of you guys in my next video.